Bhakti Yoga. Some say Bhakti Yoga is the easiest path, the simplest path, the sweetest path. It is. But it is also the most hijacked path, the path on whose name humanity commits the foulest of horrors on itself. But we'll come to that later. The literal meaning of bhakti is devotion. And yoga is used as a term to describe methods or techniques which lead to evolution of the self. Different yogas represent different paths for self-realization. Bhakti is devotion. Devotion towards what? Towards God. But what is God? God is a concept. God is an idea in our mind. Albeit it is a concept which comes very naturally to humans. The belief is universal. I don't think there is a tribe ever found which didn't have that concept in one form or the other. To pray to God seems to be a very natural phenomena. But do we really know if there is a God, a creator, etc.? If we think deeply, the only thing we really know is I am. And just staying with I am is enough. But that is a peak of understanding. And bhakti is not a path of understanding. It is a path of feeling, of the heart. Jumping a bit, if there was no sun, there would be no earth. If there was no oxygen, we wouldn't be here. Now imagine nobody else existed. Would you exist? I exist because the other does. The I exists in contrast to the other. We believe our identity is limited to us. If some organ inside us didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. If the earth didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. And if others didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. At a deep level, the whole universe is interconnected. We are all connected. And at a deep level, everything is one. This omnipresence, this is God. Certain feelings reflect this interconnectivity. Connecting with these feelings connects us to everything, and our parochial approach to our identity relaxes and disappears. And when we glance beyond our identity and we see God. And we also see that what inside us sees is also God. The feelings which lead to the divine can be called love. It can be expressed as devotion, surrender, compassion. The journey through these feelings is Bhakti Yoga. Now, not necessarily, but this journey of feelings generally requires a projection. We project this feeling of interconnectivity onto something. By the way, when feeling is translated into thought, and it has to be, thought is the most basic code or platform on which our collective humanity's reality stands upon, the interpretation of feelings by thought is tricky business. The translation of the feeling is colored by our cultural overtones. To connect with this feeling of interconnectivity or oneness, it is easier for the mind to give it some form or shape, create symbols and pictorial images to represent it. We project and personify God. To pray to God, to surrender to God, to follow a religion, pray in a certain manner, this is the path of bhakti. And millions of unknown faces have gone very deep through surrender, through whichever stream of religion they might have followed. But many have also got stuck in over identification to their chosen images, symbols, and mythology. One of the pitfalls of the path of bhakti is fanaticism. The fanatics put more emphasis on the image rather than the connection, the feeling. If a society over identifies with their chosen images, then whoever controls that narrative gains massive control over that society. And a collective image of worship can be hijacked for power. Remind and insist subservience of everybody on a collective image, idea, or book of worship, call it the truth, the only truth, and then define the truth in a way it concentrates power. Ironically, true bhakti has nothing to do with such a conniving frame of mind. In fact, bhakti has nothing to do with the mind. It is a journey through feelings, through the heart. The image of devotion is not that important. Whether you pray to Christ or to Krishna, what is more important is the quality of the feeling of love, reverence, devotion towards the omnipresence. A trust starts developing that I am a part of this omnipresence, that it will take care of me. The I starts going into acceptance, accepts whatever is happening, and surrenders to the intelligence of the universe. To be in trust relaxes us. A lot of times we are our own enemy. We are the ones stopping our natural evolution because we are holding on to meaningless emotional debris. Moment we trust life, we stop overthinking. The body relaxes and we automatically move towards higher levels of being. Devotion to an external image or concept facilitates this journey. A prayer is a human ritual which helps us to connect to this feeling. Doing ceremonies, offering gratitude, puja, etc., can be done regularly to create a certain consistency. Going to a temple, church can assist that connection. And any image can represent God. A stone, a statue can represent God. And the statue can gather energy. So many people coming and bowing their heads to a statue, some sort of an energy gets created around that piece of stone. People have projected trust on that symbol, and connecting with that symbol can then create trust inside someone. Temples, churches, places of worship can be portals of higher energy, where it is easier to connect to this omnipresence. Like prayer, music and dancing also activates the heart space. In fact, bhajan or devotional songs, chanting, dancing are considered a major part of Bhakti Yoga. Music and dancing keeps us attentive towards our feeling, and that's the door. Again, it is not at all necessary that they have to be traditional. The music has to be traditional and devotional in nature. The feeling is the point, not how it is activated, and not what images or concepts are used as a crutch. In fact, no intermediary is necessary as such. If you love the beauty of certain symbols, there is, of course, no problem. But sometimes no projection on an image is needed or preferred. Bhakti can be directly towards everything. Sometimes people directly connect with the feeling of love. Love is God and God is love. To love everything and everyone. To have compassion. To see the divine everywhere. Forgiving everyone and forgiving yourself is another way of saying the same thing. All of these are articulating, expressing, and experiencing the same feeling in different ways. This is the path of Bhakti Yoga.